Hello, everyone. Welcome to another live watch party. I am thankful you are all here, watching live on the stream, watching on the replay. It's all good. Boy, I would show you. So, if you guys didn't know, let me pull this up real quick. Hey, guys. So I've mentioned it in a couple of videos real quick. Just a minute as everyone's getting in here. I did open up the merch store everyone's been asking for. I think actually there's a lot of different stuff. I had a lot of different ideas. Men's and women's, some of the basic, like basic if you want it big. I don't know. I think I kind of prefer the smaller one. I like the Terry Silver, ponytail, party time shirts are really good. And I kind of like this one. I Heart Daniel's trilogy. This is for people who of course it doesn't come up. Whatever. Something went wrong. What else is new? Well, anyway, we'll get back to it. So link in the description, and it should be on the channel page if you want any of that stuff. Peggy Lawyer, hi. Braden, hi. Jim Tim. I watched some interesting stuff. Oh yeah, we'll get to the interview in just a second. We'll get the first minute or first 8. We'll see what they do. They may not, because they're having this pre-screening in Texas. Where is it? Austin? Dallas? Something? Dallas? It's in Dallas, right? Anyway, they're showing like the first 2 episodes in Dallas. So they may not drop the first 8. I don't know. We'll see what they do. That's basically like the night of the release. So it'll be like Thursday evening here in America. Just a handful of hours before it drops. I have heard you want to stay spoiler free. That's all. Spoilers have always been an issue with us. Like I got spoiled in my stream, just people saying, "Oh, Tori joins Cobra Kai," and people are in there. People love the spoil shit. So I will do a live stream when it drops on Thursday evening, Friday morning, the evening when it drops. I may have protections in place to prevent spoilers. We'll see. Cobra Kai watch party the day before the release or whatever it was. Good evening, Robina. Is it going to drop straight into the action? Probably. Time for another watch party? Yeah. 3 days to go? Yeah. Kreese was talking big, and there's only 3 fighters got wiped. Yeah, kind of sad, but Kreese is not a quitter. He'll figure it out. He'll figure it out. Tyson or Paul on Friday? Jake Paul. I've been an anti-Jake Paul guy for a long time. But he said a few things recently that made me change my mind. Well, not sort of change my mind, but reconsider him. But you do gotta kind of like Tyson, man. Tyson is brutal. So either one, we'll see. delete TikTok. It's very easy for me not to go on TikTok. People jumping directly. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I have to say, like, I don't get it myself, but that's just what people do. There's just some people like that's their thing in life. Like that's, if you're an uninteresting person, like what do you do to feel special? Like if you're not a special person, what can you do to feel special or unique or to have power or influence or someone when you're like a loser? What do? You just jump to the end and then spoil it for someone else. And like that gives that person a little feeling of power or satisfaction that they get nowhere else in their life. That's essentially what's going on there. What are you going to do? Going to avoid YouTube on Friday? Oh, you can't do it at night? Oh, you guys got to take off work and school and everything. Come on, guys, plan ahead, man. T-Flex champ, man. He'll just be at the gym pumping that iron. Thank you for coming on in, man. Silver better not have a cameo. A bit more than a cameo. Do they expect people to have enough money to jump ship and make everything work in place to be able to go to these things when they announce these? Are you referring to the event in Dallas? I mean, I think it's more like intended for people who, live like in the area. If you live like really, really far away, you can't do it. But, maybe, in that area in Texas or Oklahoma. I have not seen Outer Banks. Do you think Kreese can redeem himself? Maybe he'll do something. Looking forward to Daniel going down the rabbit hole. Yes. Turn off notifications for spoiler leaks. Yeah. Melissa's here. Thank you for coming on in, Melissa. I got off school on the 15th. That was smart. Yes, T-Flex Champ is asking, is it come out the 15th? Yes, that's this Friday. Note it comes out at midnight United States Pacific time. So if you're like in Eastern time zone, that's like 3 a.m. Maybe you're asleep, maybe you're up. That's up to you. If you're not up at those weird hours, then just wake up in the morning and you can turn it on and watch it. So it's like at nighttime, middle of the night, late at night in the US. Yeah, you're in Florida. Yeah, so for you it comes out at 3 a.m. Friday. 3 a.m. So, if you're up, you can watch it. If not, just when you wake up Friday, it'll be there anytime. Staying home from school is very smart. I don't know. Melissa, are you asking me questions about the interview? Because I haven't watched it yet. It's literally the title is reacting to it because I haven't watched any of these. Cobra Kai rapper from the 2000s. Watch Party, what's up? What it do? We're entering the last week. It's no time for the meek. We're going to make it play, and we're going to win it on the day. Rapping. I will stay up for this. Very good. Yeah. It's going to be late. I will live stream, but it's going to be hard. You may just want to watch it yourself, but we'll do it. What are you most excited for? Just more Cobra Kai. Like there's nothing specific I'm like looking forward to. Like I get like this sort of question a lot. But generally I'm not someone like, oh, there's one thing I want to see. Like I mean, other than just like the Sekai Taikai in general, I want to see the tournament. I mean, that would be your answer, but otherwise I'm just watching it. Don't like the theory about Silver. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see about that. If that's the way it goes or not. Okay, guys. So they dropped some interviews today. Here, let's pull. These are Collider interviews. And it definitely looks like some of this was shot earlier. But I figured, 7 minutes. There's the kids, there's them, and them. But we'll see what they say. You mentioned Mr. Miyagi joined Iron Dragons, yeah. Yes, thank you, Andrew, Arcade Andrew. Yeah, more videos will be coming. Okay, so let's go ahead and I always watch on full speed. Does Collider care if I react like Sorry, I was thinking. Okay, well, we'll just keep it like this. Okay. No audio. Oh, what the fuck? Okay, hold on, guys. Let me do this again. I had deliberately. Oh, maybe I didn't click it. I'm telling you guys, this is actually really annoying. If you don't push the okay.
It makes me wonder because she switches teams when she fights in the Sekai Taikai. Is her fighting style going to revert back to Cobra Kai, or is it still going to be like an amalgamation of what she's learned?
Okay.
That's a great question. It's an amalgamation for sure. It's a combination of both Miyagi-Do fighting. She's been training with Sam leading up to this switch. So yeah, there's a lot of callbacks to Sam's moves, and I wanted to implement some of those whenever I could.
Do you use them against her?
Oh, hell yeah! But like that's the flattery. The greatest form of
you like all their
flattery,
reactions here.
Imitation is the greatest form of flattery. I actually like Peyton and I talked about this a ton. She was so thoughtful and respectful about it. She was like, "Hey, like that move that you do, like I'm thinking about that one when I'm gonna ask if I can add it in." I was like, "Go for it," and she killed it. It was awesome.
Oh, I like that. I love how you put a positive spin on it.
But Jacob's like, no, and Sholo's like, hell yeah, use those moves against her. Interesting, but you know what's actually interesting just about that little bit here that Mary said is, according to her, like Peyton suggested a particular move to the choreographers, and they added it in, like a move that Sam had done that Peyton suggested. So that's actually kind of interesting if we look at it, if we think about it.
That's lovely. So Tanner, for you, in our little bullet points, they mention that without Tori, his head isn't in the game. I feel like this is a difficult. That's like literally the bullet point we got for you.
Yeah.
It's a difficult thing to put into words, but how, I guess, would you describe what is missing for him without her?
Oh. Yeah.
What?
Your head.
It's very obvious, and I think I even mentioned this just in the video. Like Robbie's very like lovesick guy. Like Sam cheated on him. He flipped out. He was all mopey in the juvenile detention. And then like when Tori showed up during the team captain, that was like his motivation. And I mean, I guess some people would be motivated by Tori. I don't know. That's up to you. But yeah, that was like his motivation. He won 3 straight points. Boom, 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 boom. And now she's gone again. And we even see him like back in mopey.
Yeah. Sorry, you threw me off with that.
He's wearing this ridiculous shirt.
His world has been thrown way upside down. I just don't think he knows. I think he's really found a grounded life now with his dad and Daniel and now his friends and his what he sees as his brother, you know, and his girlfriend.
I don't know, man.
Like everything
YouTube's dumb.
was just so perfect for him for a while now, finally in his life, that now that he's lost one component, it's just continued to break every single chain within his life. And he just doesn't know how to handle that anymore because he wants it to be the way it was, I guess. So he's trying to figure out how to get back to that perfect life that he wants so badly.
Such an intense way to describe.
Yeah, like the chain is broken and it keeps going. But like it seems like to me like Robbie's always like that. Like something boom happens, he gets cheated on or whatever. You know, it just deconstructs everything. Sort of a chain effect.
Describe it. Now my heart hurts for him even more. So that leads me back to you, Mary. So if Robbie's head isn't in the game, how does Sam react in terms of her responsibilities of being the captain of the competition?
I feel like Sam is in a really precarious place there because she wants to be supportive of her friend, her teammate, and at the same time, there's anger and there's hurt toward Tori on her own side. So there's like Sam is off balance in that moment. This like Sam is hurt and shocked by this change, and I think, but she has to kind of like bury that. She doesn't have much of a choice because it's that or feel like the team goes out of whack. Now we have obviously other team members, but you know the importance and the significance of the captains is kind of crucial to the competition. I think that's definitely like. Sam feels the weight of the world and the responsibility, whether she's taken that on herself that she thinks she has to fix it all, but she's definitely feeling that in that moment.
Just kidding.
Okay, so she said she's taking it all on herself. She's also said she's bearing it, which makes you think for the most part, Sam is handling it pretty well. Like she's like shaken, but like it doesn't ultimately interfere with her fighting. Right? Have we ever seen a match or a fight where Sam loses because she's distracted or something or other? Right? Like I don't you know, Sam doesn't even lose many fights to begin with, but like you've never seen a fight where like she was distracted. You know, even chosen Taguchi, right? Like you know, heard a cry and you know gave Terry Silver an opportunity, but like Sam, whatever, man, she moves on. You know.
So much
it's about peace in the valley is so important.
It is. It has been so important to me, like my entire life. Sholo, you're just joking about the brother thing. This question kind of leans into that. So with Robbie being kind of like thrown out of whack, given the Tori situation, how does Miguel look at him not being captain? Is it a kind of situation where he treats him like a brother and tries to support him, or thinks to himself like look what happened, I deserve to have the captain position to begin with?
It's totally a bit of both. I think you get to see all angles of it from with Robbie and Miguel. I think at the beginning it is a little bit bitter.
Good point.
Right? You
Robin,
can't
though.
help but feel like
the
darn,
PTSD.
like
that was
I didn't win and we're not performing as well, but at the same time, we know that all of us can rise to the occasion. And like Robbie was captain for a good reason. So I think it's a little bit of.
He said Robbie was.
We know that all of us can rise to the occasion. And like Robbie was captain for a good reason. So I think it's a little bit of. It's
Robbie
helpful
was.
to have someone that close because you can have someone put you in check and be like, yo, maybe not everyone else is going to tell you this because they don't know you like I know you, but what's up? So it's always helpful to have someone like that around. And for both of these characters, you haven't really had that before. So it's I think it's a special advantage going into the Sekai Taikai.
Okay, I'll take that. All right, Jacob, for you, big burning question. So he gets.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he's accenting Miguel's role, Hal, as like the guy encouraging Robbie. That's the most. Yeah, probably just misspoke. Yeah, that I think so. Because I do think like the team captains stay put. Like I think he's ultimately just saying like Miguel is the guy encouraging Robbie. And we even get a little of that in the trailer, although he's upset at him, but like, yeah. She's a balanced fighter and confirming that. Sholo dropped a spoiler. I'm not sure. It's hard.
To go to Barcelona because Tori switched teams. Yeah. Does that mean he goes into the competition like not fully confident he deserves to be there, or deep down does he know he is legitimately one of the best fighters they have?
Yeah, I think going into it, I sort of think Hawk knows that he is one of the better fighters and sort of like deserves a spot to go. I think the thing that's weighing on his chest more is the fact that he had this huge fight with Dimitri. I think
I probably won't watch the Tyson fight live.
I think Hawk sort of believes he's a better fighter than Dimitri, and
I mean that's fair.
How all that stuff went down was more a reflection of like his miscommunication and mistake on being a good friend, and Dimitri going is sort of a byproduct of that.
I earned my spot.
You did
runner up.
Did earn your spot. But yeah, I think him going right after Tori sort of drops out at the start is like, damn, like I'm just kind of messing up.
So you earn your spot, but
I don't think it doesn't sound like it's gonna be much of a plot point. The way Jacob was just talking about it, he's talking about general thinking like, oh, he knows he's a good fighter, but it kind of went down, messed up. Like I don't think this is going to be much of a plot point ultimately. That what was I say? Jacob, but Hawk was like the alternate. It's kind of something. It may get mentioned once, but that's it, really, for the most part. Like, I think Hawk is full force. He knows he's good enough to be there. So the fact that he got there via alternate, because of Mike Barnes' particular style of choosing, ultimately doesn't bother him. He just moves on from it. I hope Mike Barnes gets vindicated by this. I guess we'll find out. But in the end, it seems like a small plot point.
So you earn your spot. But your little bullet point on our list is that Hawk feels like Dimitri isn't giving 100% and is more focused on his future at MIT. And it was making me wonder, is he in Barcelona kind of like thrilled and proud of himself for earning that spot? Or is it more about him feeling good about kind of taking a spot from Hawk because he's mad at him?
Dude, I mean, my guy, Dimitri, he's going through it. He's going through it. I mean, yeah, I think that his focus is more on like MIT and I'm going to go do this. I'm going to be a tech billionaire. And this karate stuff, this is a holiday for him. He's just kind of like out there trying to be like the bad boy, trying to dance with girls. He's just living his life.
Dance with girls? Is this gonna happen in part 2? What's going on here? No, he's with Yasmin. He wouldn't dance with another girl.
But I think that there's definitely a darker side of like, oh man, this guy that I kind of like had a huge falling out with is now rooming with me for the next couple of weeks. Oops. Hey, yeah. So they got stuff that they got to work out, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Okay. I love how I'm hearing all this. Then I'm gonna
yeah, they got stuff to figure out. They do, don't they? Yeah, I mean the MIT thing is like the weakest part of all of season 6. No one really cares, I don't think. We'll see how it shakes out. But it just feels like so much forced conflict, and it's like the least interesting thing, So I think Dimitri will be, more or less fine. But we see him revert to his normal self in the trailer. We should just give up and blah blah blah. So I think that's gonna cause tension.
I'm gonna watch the episodes and I'll listen to it back. I'm like, all the answers were right there. I didn't even know. Thank you yet again. You guys are the best.
Okay. Excited for Comer. Don't care about MIT. Yeah, neither do I. Most people don't. Okay. Let's see. Okay, this is with Ralph, Billy, and Yuji. So let's go ahead and play them real quick.
For all three of you, one thing that they wrote in our little notes is that there's tension and rivalries between all the students and also the senseis. So for each of you, who is your number one rival at the Sekai Taikai?
I mean, I think all the senseis there, all the different teams that are there, there's a rival around every corner. There is a new big bad who's the ultimate rival that appears that I'm not going to spoil, but
Sensei Wolf.
Now. Johnny's
so that's Sensei Wolf, who I'm assuming is going to be Johnny's sort of competition, right? Big rival for him specifically.
He's still bumping heads with Daniel a little bit, but has some big decisions to make about where his team's at, because his team's having, I don't know. I feel like I can't spoil it. I feel like I'm going to give away too much.
I think one of Daniel's biggest rivals in part 2 is himself.
Whoa. Okay. Obviously, if Daniel's biggest rival is himself, his spirit quest this whole season is in regards to Miyagi. I think this is fitting in with what I said in yesterday's video, the Miyagi video. Make sure you watch it if you haven't. We'll go from here, but definitely the Miyagi stuff has been getting Daniel all season 6.
He's dealing with his own struggles with his the information he gains about Miyagi and who Miyagi might have been when he's in Barcelona, and takes him down sort of a spiral that puts himself in peril, and even maybe his students and his own daughter, because he's following some lead. So he's struggling with himself, never to be overtaken by the solid rivalry with Johnny, which it's tough to compete with. But that's one that.
Okay. So what he just said is interesting. So Ralph just confirmed what I put in the video yesterday. Watch party theories are so accurate, they get confirmed before the show even drops. He just talked about Daniel finding stuff about Mr. Miyagi while in Barcelona. This is big because this is exactly what I was saying yesterday. It's got to be about Daniel in Mr. Miyagi in the Sekai Taikai. This is something Daniel's going to pursue and ask about it. I think like Ralph, I mean, obviously he didn't confirm it, but that's what's going to be going on. What else is he going to learn about Mr. Miyagi in Barcelona? Nothing. It's about him in the Sekai Taikai. One thing he did say there, a dangerous path for himself, his students, his daughter. I don't know what that would be. That is a little confusing to me because whatever it is, like Miyagi, I mean, it was years ago. My theory that Miyagi was part of the Iron Dragons, like T-Flex Champ, you've been talking about that, thinking about that. And maybe, Daniel's trying to get information perhaps from Sensei Wolf in the middle of this competition where Sensei Wolf and the others are, their biggest competitors, right? So it's like a kind of awkward on that. How it puts them all in danger, I don't know. I don't know. Is the big brawl? Ooh. I just wrote a video and I just actually recorded it. It's a short video for tomorrow morning, maybe. But now I think I got to rewrite it.
Adds a layer to that section of the season.
And not to piggyback on that, but Johnny in many ways is also struggling with himself and realizes how much he, on his own may be a detriment. So he sees some error in his ways and needs to rein in his friends to support him and realizes what he needs.
Johnny on his own is a detriment. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. That's how about I think let's go with for Chosen. It's the whole Cobra Kai senseis. I think there's always going to be that sense of rivalry with that group of senseis.
Okay.
So I'll go with Cobra Kai.
Okay, I'll take that.
So so just Yuji there emphasizing, presumably Kreese and Kim Da-eun, something like that. Sam gets into a stream. Maybe she was following a lead. Maybe, but we do know she's with Axel during that, which is the weirdest thing. And they're fighting Cobra Kai. So honestly, I'm not piecing that together. Badly injured or die. I don't think Sam's gonna die. Ralph also hinted at something. Well, I mean, he just mentioned something right there. Yeah. Watch. Yeah, I'm gonna do the more interviews next. How do marketing make decisions for big projects? Sonic Frontiers had marketing just as bad as part 2. I don't know, man. They just sit in a room and talk about that stuff. All right. Let's go. Let's keep going.
All right. I'm coming back around. I want to dig back into the Miyagi stuff. So we know it's kind of like thrown him off balance. Mm-hmm. Is there anything that Daniel turns to like, I guess, put a Band-Aid on it, or something else he thinks he can regain balance from, if not Miyagi and his teachings?
Well, I think the, toward the end of part 2, it's really about the end game for the students and the competition. And he focuses his
So what he just said there is he's got the Miyagi side quest, but somewhere towards the end, episode 10, maybe 9, episode 10, like it's you got to put it all aside and then focus on the end game is what he just said there. So like it's still side quest
on them, on the rivals and the surprises that may be coming that add other layers of obstacles.
This is such a fun
so many carrots.
I feel like you just saw me like slowly like
so hopefully you're leaning forward and not like throwing the iPad down and walking out of the room.
Not at all.
So I think the focus, the balance comes back on his students because he sees and discovers more obstacles for them. And he's, so that kind of realigns them for the moment.
Okay. I'll take that. Billy, one thing I've been...
He sees more obstacles for them. I don't know. So apparently maybe in the Miyagi sign quest, he understands or learns things that it's going to be harder than they thought. I guess.
Curious about, because so like Daniel is losing his faith in Miyagi's teachings. Do we get to see how Johnny reacts to it? Like, does he feel for Daniel, or is it more so like, I told you so. I told you this style wasn't the answer all along.
It's kind of happening in Johnny's peripheral. And in fact, he's not aware of the depth of the struggle Daniel's going through.
Right.
But it's taking Daniel out of his concentration's drifting a little bit and his focus, which leaves Johnny with the ball of with the tournament and dealing with the kids, and pushes his way on it and saying, okay, it's time to do things my way. And whether that works or not, you'll have to watch and see. It sure is entertaining.
I'll watch and see over and over and over. Yuji, one of the bullet points we got for you that I love is he's dealing with a major hangover while trying to wrangle the students. Of all the students on this trip, who is the easiest for Chosen to wrangle and who gives him the most grief?
The easiest, I think, is probably Mary's character.
That makes sense.
I think because, she's been part of the whole Miyagi-Do legacy from the get-go. And so for me, she has an understanding of what it means to, respect martial arts. And the toughest one to wrangle, of course, I'm going to say it. It's Hawk.
I was going to say, if you didn't say it, I was going to say it.
It's Hawk, of course.
He flipped the script too much.
Yeah, he's such a bad influence on me.
Yeah.
Okay.
That actually sounds funny. It almost sounds like Yuji there is talking about Jacob more than Hawk, but okay, that was pretty about a straightforward question, about like Chosen as a sensei teaching, okay, he has the easiest time with Sam, hardest time with Hawk. I mean, I would buy that. I think it'd be interesting. It would have been interesting if we got more of him and Tori, but we didn't get that.
Okay, I'm curious to see how he's going to take it to another level.
Yes.
A specific thing we were talking about the other day, so I feel like this is safe to tease as well. This episode 9 ballet-like fight. What can you
ballet-like fight? Which fight is that? Do 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 dun 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 do 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 pow.
Tell me about, I don't know, maybe who's involved and why that ballet fighting style best suits this particular fight scene.
It was everyone's. All students are involved, so it's not a one-on-one thing, and they each need to support each other in order to prevail. So it's really the ultimate.
It's the ultimate test. It's the climax of the fighting. I think it's unbelievable.
Okay, this is interesting. So she just said the ballet fight, whatever that is in episode 9. Billy just here referred to it as the climax of the fighting. Like, that's the best. Like, I mean, at least from his perspective or opinion right here. Are there bigger fights in episode 10? Are the fights in episode 10 just like the one-on-one fights? So it's like, it's big scale, but only like one-on-one versus this is a fight with everyone, as Ralph just said. Kind of interesting.
Watching them do this, and we did it, and they did one take on this thing. They had cameras rolling around the mat, and it's multiple fighters.
Yeah.
And the timing and the choreography with our actors was incredible. And then our stunt team came in and did it as well. But it was mesmerizing, truly mesmerizing, and we were so proud of them. We couldn't believe we were watching. So, yeah,
this is cute.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
I just hope I just hope it doesn't get too cut up, like what I mean, because we watched it as theater.
Yeah,
and I'm hoping that it translates as theater for the audience.
It will.
It was amazing to watch that oneer that the stunt team did.
Yeah,
we're killing you, Barry.
I love a Cobra Kai oneer. I'll see it soon enough. I have to be patient.
All right, sounds pretty good. Looking for a pretty good fight. I think in the trailer, in the trailer where they're huddled up talking, that could be before that. That's a possible, because it seemed like when they're in that huddle, they're about to go on to a fight, and I do think that's against the Iron Dragons. So that's an interesting one. That huddle, but yeah, just him talking about it being in theater and all that. This is the same. Okay, here's John, Josh, and Hayden. So we'll watch these losers.
First big question I
tell
have
him
for
I
you
said
is we
that.
know that part
Okay, you
2
can tell
is going to
him.
mostly take place at the Sekai Taikai. What about the students who don't get to go there? Will it cut back and forth between Barcelona
This is
and
a good
California?
question.
You know, in the middle 5 episodes, we'll spend a lot of time at the Sekai Taikai, but there will be a little bit back home. You'll get to see some home adventures and,
home adventures. I assume that's with Carmen.
Characters, I guess people have seen, sorry. So characters like Anthony and Kenny continue to exist in this middle 5, and we get to see a little bit of a continuation of their story.
Okay, I like that. I'm curious.
Well, we know Kenny ends up at the tournament, right? So that's interesting. So what John just confirmed there, and something that I was wondering is like, did Kenny come as an alternate? Like, because that's something we've just been talking about almost since the first drop is like, well, do you have replacements? What happens if someone gets hurt? So John just confirmed, no, Kenny is not in Barcelona as of like the end of episode 5. We know he ends up there in the trailer. But there's going to be potentially even maybe in episode 6 or episode 7, a little bit of a storyline with him and Anthony. I assume Carmen's going to be in there somewhere. I don't know what much she's got going on, but basically, we'll see. I think the junior division of the Sekai Taikai is still under 18. You can't whisper watch party. We all heard you. What did I even say? I don't even remember. Okay, let's keep going. This one's 10 minutes.
Curious to see how many of these you'll answer. Will the Sekai Taikai conclude at the end of part 2, or
Good
is
question.
it a 2-part?
She's asking good questions. That's rare for
Storyline.
years.
It ends.
Oh my, this is killing me right now. Can you give me a little insight into the tournament structure of the Sekai Taikai, especially like compared to the All Valley? Is it the kind of situation where it is ultimately a whole bunch of one-on-one fights where points are given and then the champions fight?
It's the way it's structured is it's really the dojos that are competing against each other. So at first,
Holy
it's
fuck.
all really the dojos that are competing against
How
each
many
other.
years
So at
have I been
first,
telling you
it's
this?
structured is it's really the dojos that are competing against each other. So
Since season 5, like watch party, who's gonna win the Sekai Taikai? Well, guys, you got to realize it's about the dojo, not just the individual, because they qualified as no watch party. You're an idiot. Who's gonna win? I think Robbie's gonna win the Sekai. No, Sam's gonna win. Guys, it's the dojo. You compete. No watch party. You're an idiot.
for the way it's structured is it's really the dojos that are competing against each other. So at
You tune in and subscribe to Watch Party. You get this 2.5 years ago, over two years ago. Everyone else is just finding out right now. But if you've been following me and actually paying attention, I've been telling you this for years. So make sure you're subscribed.
First, it's all the team, the team that's there. They're fighting each other. Sometimes it's individuals, sometimes it's 2-on-2, sometimes it's the whole team versus the whole team, but you're basically fighting for the dojo. And dojos get eliminated along the way, and it's the ones at the very end that make it, through the gauntlet that get to submit their captains into this, final tournament that is going to feel
Tournament of
like
Champions.
the All Valley, but on steroids in terms of the point structure and what's allowed.
So when Mike is
And
testing
what's
them all out,
allowed?
and he
What's allowed? That's a key one. Sweeping the leg is allowed. That's what she said. So sweeping the leg is allowed? Well, actually, sweeping the leg was always allowed. It was never an illegal move. Okay. So yeah, the one-on-ones is at the end. Something he didn't say are there like 2-on-1s, 5-on-2s? Because it seems like that's the case, but we don't really know. Okay, we'll keep going.
He insists on seeing teamwork that is going to show up in this tournament where we see more than one competitor fight alongside each other.
Exactly. There's definitely new types of competitions that you haven't seen in any tournaments.
I like the sound of that.
new
Our notes
comps are good.
also tell us a little bit about Sensei Wolf and the Iron Dragons. Can you tease what they're like?
So I think this interview was done back in the summer. And from what she said, you know, they got some notes about part 2. So she's asking questions about part 2 a little bit based on the notes she was given. So she must have gotten those names.
Get all, and maybe where they fall on the Cobra Kai Miyagi-Do scale in terms of being ruthless versus being honorable.
In the writer's room, before we had the name the Iron Dragons, we just loosely started calling them the Patriots. They were like the dynasty New England Patriots under the Tom Brady, Belichick years, where the idea of this team is just they are larger than life. They are last year's champions. They've won.
Okay. I didn't even suspect that. So they are last year's champions. They're the Patriots. I actually like this analogy for those of you who aren't American, or know football, American football. The Patriots up in New England were like the dominant football team for a decade or more. They won 4 I don't know, like 4 Super Bowls, went a couple more times. Really, really good. Tom Brady was their quarterback, Hall of Famer, probably the best quarterback of all time. Bill Belichick was the head coach, is generally regarded as one of the, top football coaches of all time, and, top professional sports coaches, maybe up with, like Phil Jackson in basketball. But yeah, like they were the team, man. They just nailed everything. They were just really good year after year. The Iron Patriots. Yeah, that's kind of good. 6 Super Bowls. Yeah, I couldn't even remember off the top of my head. I was started to say 6, and then I thought, is that too high? I couldn't remember. But yeah, like they're just really good, just dominated for over a decade. So anyway, moving that on to the Iron Dragons. So he specifies their last year's winners. That's important. Because they're from Hong Kong. And here I was thinking like the last year's winners were from Europe based on what Gunther said, but so they are the top team, like kicking ass and everything.
Won probably the most Sekai Taikai, championships over time. They're based in Hong Kong, but they're an international team. It's the idea that they go out.
Okay, so this is already things I've been saying right here on my channel. I guess I said it in the podcast too, and sometimes I can't remember specifically. They're based in Hong Kong, but an international team. So we have Axel and Zara. And I put this theory ahead in the podcast, and a little bit in the Miyagi video. If Miyagi fought for Hong Kong, he could have been the starting of that international team. It makes sense. If they have international fighters, Mr. Miyagi could have fought for them a long, long time ago. Right? So this is all making sense. This is confirming the theories I've already put out. I mean, not the Miyagi specifically, but the idea that like the Iron Dragons are an international dojo. They're located in Hong Kong, and maybe they've been that way for a really, really long time. Patriots are associated with, no, it's just an example, Romano. It's just an example.
Time they're based in Hong Kong, but they're an international team. It's the idea that they go out and they get the best fighters and they bring them into their dojo, and they are a team that's designed for world-class competition, and they're a team that brings home that trophy ruthlessly. So they're part of the rude awakening that Cobra Kai and Miyagi-Do experience when they get to the Sekai Taikai. That tells them our rivalry may matter to us, but there are 14 other teams here besides the 2 of us that we're going to have to get through, including this juggernaut.
All I could think of now.
Very good. Okay. So I think this is like confirming a lot of what I've said. This is really good. International team. It's going to be brutal, and we see them beat Cobra Kai. The boy in orange gi is that's for Dublin, the Irish
is it
team.
the Iron Dragons are the Patriots? Which NFL team is Cobra Kai and Miyagi-Do?
The Chiefs and
who are the bad teams?
Like
wait, Cobra Kai is the Chiefs?
No, somebody. I would say like Miyagi-Do is the Chiefs.
Okay.
No, the Chiefs are really good, right?
Yeah, Miyagi-Do's pretty good.
I don't know. I mean, you get in here and you find out you're on the world stage, and there's all these teams are pretty good.
What's the dirtiest football team? like an old school team
Like
that
the Raiders.
Yeah, like the old
Raiders.
the Oakland Raiders back in the day, or the.
That's what Cobra Kai is.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
probably.
I feel like that's fair to say now that they're not the Oakland Raiders anymore. This is like an obnoxious like rule type question, but Kreese is a fugitive. How does he get to Barcelona? And
This
does
is what y'all
anyone
wanna
ever
know.
try to alert the authorities?
Well, we can't tell you spoilers with any of that stuff, but I will say, Sensei Kreese has proven to be very resourceful over the years, and he was locked up unjustly. So, who knows if he was able to sort of weasel his way out of the legal troubles he's had.
Marty can do anything in that role. I believe it all. All right, we got to talk about the epic full ensemble fights, because every single season you keep raising the bar, and people expect that now. So season 6, it's divided into 3 parts. Does that mean we're only going to get 1, or could we get 2? 1 for part 2 and 1 for part 3?
In terms of just an epic all-out brawl, I think there's the possibility at all times of chaos and mayhem on being unleashed, and I think we did our best to try to build off each chunk of 5, so that episode 5 has the most intense karate, that we've seen up until that season. And then episode 10 of this middle block is going to have this climactic, karate action. And, without giving anything away, I will give a spoiler in the final 5 episodes, there will be karate.
So combine this with also what Billy said earlier. He thought the highlight was the fight in episode 9. I assume episode 10 is the top, but episode 10 would be the one-on-one fights. Episode 10, but episode 9 may have the giant.
It doesn't just
5-on-5 ballet fight.
You have to watch the middle block to know how things shake out, but expect some, the biggest fireworks for the last couple episodes.
I love how by that structure,
Couple
the
episodes,
Sam and
so
Tori
he's
fight at the
including
end of
some.
part 1 gets that designation, because it's such a beautiful fight with obviously karate skill set, but also hugely emotional performances too. And I love that combo there. How can you tease how those ensemble fights might raise the bar? For folks thinking, how are you going to top the high school one, or the fight at the LaRusso house? What are you going to do different that is going to wow people in a new way here?
I mean, yeah, we've had some big ones. It wouldn't be ending the series without us trying to outdo ourselves. And the ensemble
Ballet
fight
fight.
in this season is something on another level.
You can
you've never
swear,
seen,
just
before.
Mild swear, don't swear at other
because
people.
all our characters at this point are really good at karate. The last time we had a real all-out brawl, obviously in season 5, it was contained mostly in that dojo, and then at Silver's house you had the adults, but you're still in the valley. Now that we've taken this storyline to go internationally, anything could happen.
These teases.
Anything
All right, I'm
can
going to
happen.
ask for one more tease for all 3 of you. What is your single favorite scene of all of season 6?
Ooh, wow.
You don't have to give me specifics, but something that people can look forward to at least.
I mean, I'll just say that a lot of the resolutions for me, I love, there's some amazing stuff in the middle 5
should have
that's
said
electrifying, and there's
2.
giant fights, but I'm all about, the the emotional core of these characters that we've been following, some for 6 seasons and some since the movies for over 40 years. And for me personally, winding it down and seeing where these characters end up and the way the relationships shake out, and the troubles and the triumphs that the different characters go through. There's way too many favorite scenes to count.
I like hearing that.
Yeah, there are too many. The first thing that comes to my mind is the last scene.
When Terry Silver wins it
one
all.
Of those things that you're like, okay, you have a final scene. You know what they did in Sopranos. Is Daniel going to be at a restaurant and you see, Kreese and Silver walk in, and then all of a sudden it goes to black.
Don't give away the end.
No, but that's one of those things where it's like you're thinking this is it right here, and you want to go out on a high note. So, who knows what that means? But that's the one that comes to my mind.
I'll take it.
It's worth noting. People always say like, "Oh, how is such going to end?" or "How's this going to?" Like they like what Hayden just said, go out on a high note. I think they want to give like satisfying resolutions. A lot of people, Jim, Tim, you're like you're Tory fans or you want Tory to win or something, but like, ultimately they're aware of this. They want to make sure, everyone gets kind of like a happy, a satisfying resolution, right? It feels good. Like you're like, this journey was worth it. And I think that's what, John and Hayden were both just saying there. It's going to be satisfying. It's going to be worth it.
We did something a couple of weeks ago that I can't believe we did that nobody knows about. The people who were there, who were in the scene, know about it, but we were able to keep it under wraps.
Good. And they didn't drug them.
I really still can't believe we did it. It's in the penultimate episode, and I can't wait to talk about it with you.
This was a thing that we pitched when we had our meeting with Sony and Netflix at the beginning before we started filming the season, and even before the writer's room. It was just the three of us telling the general story. We pitched this idea, and they're like, "That feels big.
Like, how are you going to do that?
How are you going to do that?" And we're like,
and we never backed up.
I mean, just they kept, with all the financial tightening that happens in this business with budgetary issues, we just were unwavering about this happening, and we kept saying, "Oh, well, we're doing that."
We just kept doubling and tripling down, and they asked us what the alternatives were, and we said, "I guess not airing the season," and we did it, and it's now a thing that happened. And I can't wait for you to see it.
These parts of interviews right now are just like absolutely.
Any idea what they're talking about? Like, I know a few things, but like, I can't imagine something where they were asking, how can you do it? What did they go up into space? They were up on SpaceX and did a fight in space. Keep in mind that's not actually, it's so crazy. Like Elon Musk was a fan of Cobra Kai. Like they could bring Musk in. No, but I don't know. They were so giddy there. Yeah, correct. Zadie, definitely correct. No, I don't think it's Jackie Chan. I don't. That's not going to make him giddy like that. And that's not a like the key is they were saying like Sony and Netflix were like, I don't get it. How do you do that? Like they were asking, how do you do that? Like they didn't know. Like Jackie Chan, that's not like a challenge. You just get Jackie Chan, he shows up. Andrew Garfield. Yeah, I've been thinking in Andrew Garfield's but even then, like even Andrew Garfield, well, not necessarily Spider-Man. Like it's in the Miyagi, it's in the Marvel universe. But like even Andrew Garfield, that's not a how do you do that, right? Hillary Swank again, like, yeah, like it can't be a person. Like just a person doesn't make sense. Like just a person. Because any person you just get up and film them. It's something that prompts the question, how do you do that? Like they said the penultimate episode, yeah. Yeah. Man, I don't know. Could be a fight, yeah.
Cruel. The teases that I've heard, I'm just bursting at the seams right now. Congratulations. Thank you so much. I'm so excited.
Okay. So those are the Collider. Let's just search. Because the other people dropped interviews too, right? Hey, this is the stream right now. Which one do you guys want? Screen Rant. Hey, you guys. Extra. Someone said watch the extra. The extra. Okay, this one was a fan of these sorts of questions. Like, what was the preparation? Like, it was easy, man. We don't prepare for that shit. Like, it's the kind of question like you can kind of guess how they're gonna answer. Like, oh, we worked really hard. Gee, let's see if they answer something along the lines of it was a lot of really hard work, but worth it in the end. By the way, like if you think about it, like there's 6 of them there, like the vast majority of your time you're just spending like sitting there, right? Like between him talking and the other people talking, like mostly you're not talking.
Yeah,
like
it's insane.
the one you're talking about. You guys said the extra with them. I don't think we have any footage. We have a lot of footage from when they were in Barcelona. I don't think we have any from when it was raining. Not that I off. No, what happened? Hold on. Did the stream go? No. Oh, wait, hold on. Damn it. Right as I was stopping it. Okay. Are we good? New interview. Okay. I am here. Hold on. Here. Put that away. Okay. Here we go. Should be fine. Okay, are you there, guys? Stupid extra. We're back. Watch party. We see you. Okay. You know, the problem is the problem is like I can play it, you can play like a little bit at a time and pause it and go, but like this guy was like asking and they were just kind of going on and on, so like it helps if I pause it, because if I pause it and like do that, it works better, but like yeah, if I but like when I just like let it play, it's like, oh no. Steven Seagal broke into watch party's house in Clothesline. Yeah. So we'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay. Here, we'll just keep the low one down. Do you know pull a knife? Watch party, did you pull a knife out? Yes.
Oh, and hand it, it just keeps it growing, moving forward. And
oh yeah, and what he's did, handing it off. He talks about like handing it off, which he says it and then almost pulls it back, which makes me think like he actually didn't mean to say it. Like maybe he literally hands something off, perhaps his headband or something. So we'll see. Yeah, we watched that interview, Arthur, with the creators. Yeah. No, your Wi-Fi didn't crap out. Okay. Although we did lose. Okay. The one thing, so we knew about the Miyagi stuff from the other interview. He did say coming to grips with the why. I find that a little more interesting. Because we don't know, you know what I mean? Like, can I do this? How's that? Yeah. And I like how Ralph has his like side note, if you ever just like freeze frame, Ralph often looks weird in any sort of thing. Anyway, so yeah, he's trying to figure out what's going on with Miyagi. All right. So the Miyagi thing distracts him from the Ultimate Tournament. And he said in the other interview, even putting the students and his own daughter in danger. So I mean, we got a good view on that. I think it lines up. Johnny's got to step up and be the sensei. And I think if you combine with what Billy said in the other one, he's got to like, he can't do it himself, right? So like that's something Johnny said. I almost think like Daniel's not going to be there for part of it. Like it's not just like he goes on a quest in his free time. Like maybe he even misses an event. That would be interesting. So yeah, I already got chosen there too, but
he's got some issues going on Sekai Taikai. So
okay, that's interesting. Is that referring to something with Carmen? I mean, hold the family together, issues going back home. I mean, the only thing that would be is Carmen, but I don't really know what Carmen's doing. We have nothing on Carmen or Edric. Yeah. Maybe his defeat on Silver from Silver is weighing down on him. Something happens to Carmen and the baby. That's really the only guess. Yeah, that's really the only guess. I don't know what it would be. I'm not a big fan of that. I feel like it's false trauma. But like I feel like the baby, that could affect Miguel or even Robbie too. We'll see. That. That's it. Take that off. Stupid extra trying to copyright pursue. No one watches your shit anyway. Okay, so good stuff. I think for the most part, we see good information. We got confirmation. Everything I said about the Sekai Taikai. We basically got confirmation that Daniel is on this side quest with Mr. Miyagi. Um, Chosen gonna smash Kim. Daniel's on a side quest with Mr. Miyagi. And according to him, it even puts, how many knives did you have, watch party? Quite a few. It puts him at danger, or the kids at danger. We know the big fight is in episode 9, a ballet fight, they're calling it. That Billy even referred to as like the best fight of the part, the middle drop. So I think the big fights in episode 10 will involve like the one-on-one fights. That's like the team captains going at it. So at the moment, I don't know where the chat is. You guys are just like off saying random things. Sweep the leg, Johnny. Yeah, they even refer to different rules, different things allowed. So yeah, definitely some leg sweeps and more. Okay, I think you've been a bad boy, watch party. I don't know what you guys are talking about. They heard him talking shit. I don't even know. Sometimes I feel so disconnected from the chat. It was a good interview nonetheless. Yeah. What happened? Okay. I don't know what you guys are saying. I'm so lost on this chat. But violated. I stopped it all. I did not watch I'm not watching anything. I don't have streamers watch in advance. You two have been arguing whether people watch the show for action or story. Well, they watch it for both. But otherwise, people will post. What? I even stopped it. Like, whatever. It's dumb.